Have you ever heard a sound so powerful it seems to shake the very ground beneath your feet? That is the roar of a lion, a sound that travels for miles across the African plains. For thousands of years, people all over the world have been fascinated by these magnificent big cats. We call them the king of the wild or the king of beasts, and it is easy to see why. Lions are symbols of strength, courage, and royalty. They walk with a confidence that tells you they are masters of their domain, and their golden eyes seem to hold ancient secrets of the wild. Their presence is so commanding that just the sight of one can take your breath away. My own life has been spent in the wild places of Africa, particularly in the Masai Mara in Kenya, watching these incredible animals. I have seen them hunt, play, and raise their cubs, and every single day with them is a privilege. They are not just animals to me. They are individuals with their own personalities and stories. From the powerful males with their glorious manes to the resilient lionesses who are the heart of the pride, each lion plays a vital role in its family. This essay is a journey into their world, a world that is sadly becoming smaller and more fragile. We will explore what makes them so special and why we must all work together to protect them. Lions are one of the most famous animals on our planet. You can see them in films, in books, and on the flags of countries. But seeing a lion in a picture is nothing like seeing one in its natural home. Imagine the sun setting over the savannah, casting a golden glow on everything. A pride of lions begins to stir, yawning and stretching after a long day's sleep. The little cubs tumble and play, practicing their pounces on their mother's tail. This is the real world of the lion, a world of family bonds, incredible teamwork, and a constant struggle for survival. It is a world full of drama and beauty, and it is our responsibility to ensure it continues to exist. In the following sections, we will delve deeper into the life of the lion. We will travel back in time to discover their ancient ancestors and learn how they evolved into the powerful predators we know today. We will look closely at their unique features, like the male's famous mane, and understand the complex social lives they lead within their prides. We will also face the difficult truth about the dangers they face and learn about the hopeful efforts being made to save them. So come with me on an adventure into the heart of lion country, and let us get to know the true king of the wild. To truly understand the lions we see today, we must travel far back in time, long before there were any cities or even farms. The story of the lion begins millions of years ago, with ancestors that were quite different from the great cats of the African plains. Scientists believe that the earliest cat-like creatures appeared around 25 million years ago. Over a vast stretch of time, these animals slowly changed or evolved, adapting to their surroundings. The group of big cats that includes lions, tigers, and leopards, known as the genus Panthera, began to emerge much later. These early big cats were the pioneers, spreading out from Africa to explore new lands across Asia and Europe. The direct ancestors of our modern lions were even more widespread than their descendants are now. Imagine a world where giant lions roamed across continents. One of these was the cave lion, Panthera spelaea, which lived in Europe and Asia during the Ice Age. These were enormous creatures, much larger than the African lions of today, and they hunted massive prey like woolly mammoths and giant deer. At the same time, another relative, the American lion, Panthera atrox, prowled through North and South America. These ancient lions were incredibly successful, adapting to cold climates and ruling as top predators over vast territories for thousands of years, a true testament to their strength. So what happened to these mighty beasts? As the last ice age came to an end around 10,000 years ago, the world changed dramatically. The climate grew warmer, the giant ice sheets melted, and many of the large animals that the cave and American lions hunted disappeared forever. This massive change in their environment and the loss of their food source led to their extinction. It is a powerful reminder of how even the strongest creatures are connected to the world around them. However, one lineage of lions managed to survive these great changes, and it is from this line that the lions we know and love today are descended. The lions that survived were those living in the warmer climates of Africa and parts of Asia. These are the ancestors of Panthera leo, the modern lion. They were slightly smaller and more suited to the open grasslands and woodlands that began to flourish as the world warmed up. From their strongholds in Africa, they spread out, establishing territories in India and the Middle East. It is from this resilient group of survivors that we get the two types of lions that still exist today: the African lion and the much rarer Asiatic lion. Their long journey through time is a story of survival against the odds, a story that is still unfolding today. When you picture a lion, the first thing that probably comes to mind is the male's magnificent mane. This spectacular ruff of long dark hair around his head and shoulders is what truly sets him apart from all other big cats. No other cat species has anything quite like it. The mane is not just for show, it serves a very important purpose. It makes the male look bigger and more intimidating, which helps him to scare off rivals and protect his family, the pride. A thick dark mane is also a sign of a strong and healthy lion, which makes him more attractive to the lionesses. It is like a king's crown, a symbol of his strength and his right to rule his territory. But there is much more to a lion than just his mane. Lions are powerfully built animals, designed for strength rather than for speed. An adult male can weigh over 190 kilograms, which is more than 2 grown men combined, while the females, or lionesses, are smaller and more agile, weighing around 130 kilograms. Their coats are a beautiful sandy, tawny color, which provides perfect camouflage in the dry grasses of the African savanna. This allows them to blend in with their surroundings, making it easier to sneak up on their prey. At the end of their tail, they have a tuft of dark fur, and hidden inside this tuft is a small, hard spine. No one is entirely sure what this spine is for, but it is another unique feature of the lion. A lion's body is a masterpiece of predatory design, built for the purpose of hunting and surviving. They have incredibly strong jaws and long, sharp canine teeth that can be over 8 centimeters long, perfect for grabbing and holding onto large prey. Their paws are huge, with sharp, retractable claws that they can pull back into their toes to keep them from getting blunt while they walk. They use these claws like hooks to grip their prey during a hunt. Lions also have incredible senses. Their eyesight is excellent, especially at night. They can see much better in the dark than humans can, which gives them a huge advantage when hunting after the sun goes down. Perhaps the most famous feature of all, besides the mane, is the lion's roar. It is a sound of pure, raw power. A lion does not just roar when it is angry. It roars to communicate with other lions. A roar can tell other members of the pride where it is, or it can be a warning to rival lions to stay away from its territory. The sound is so deep and loud that it can be heard up to 8 kilometers away. This incredible vocal ability, combined with their size, strength, and iconic mane, is what makes the lion a truly unique and awe-inspiring member of the big cat family, perfectly deserving of its royal title. Unlike most other big cats, which prefer to live and hunt alone, lions are incredibly social animals. They live in large family groups called prides, and this social life is one of the most fascinating things about them. A pride is like a big, extended family, typically made up of several related lionesses, their cubs, and 1 or 2 adult males who are often brothers or cousins. Living together in a group has many benefits. It helps them to defend their territory from other lions and to hunt large and powerful prey that would be too difficult for a single lion to bring down. The pride is the center of a lion's world, providing safety, companionship, and support. Life in the pride revolves around the lionesses. They are the heart and soul of the family and usually stay in the pride they were born into for their entire lives. This means that all the females in a pride are related: mothers, daughters, grandmothers, and sisters. They work together in everything they do. They hunt as a team, using clever strategies to ambush and catch their food. They also raise their cubs together, creating a kind of nursery where all the young ones are cared for by all the females. A lioness will even let cubs that are not her own drink her milk. This incredible cooperation is the key to the pride's success. The role of the adult males is very different. Their main job is to protect the pride and its territory from rival males. A territory is a large area of land that has enough food and water for the pride to survive. The males patrol the borders of this territory every day, marking it with their scent and roaring loudly to warn intruders to stay away. Life for a male lion is tough. They often have to fight fierce battles to keep their position. and they usually only manage to hold a territory for a few years before they are driven out by younger, stronger rivals. Their reign as king is powerful, but it is often very short. Communication is essential for keeping the pride together. Lions use a whole range of sounds, from soft, gentle meows and purrs between a mother and her cubs, to loud, rumbling growls and, of course, the mighty roar. They also use body language, rubbing their heads and bodies against each other to strengthen their family bonds. This action, called social grooming, also helps to spread the pride's unique scent among all its members, so they can easily identify each other. This rich social life, full of teamwork, family ties, and complex communication, is what makes the lion society one of the most remarkable in the entire animal kingdom. If we could turn back the clock just a few thousand years, we would find lions in many more places than we do today. Their kingdom was once vast, stretching all the way from southern Africa, up through the Middle East, across southern Europe, and as far east as India. Lions were a common sight in the lands we now know as Greece, Turkey, and Iran. They were truly one of the most widespread large land mammals on Earth, second only to humans. They thrived in a variety of habitats, from open grasslands and savannas to dry woodlands and scrub forests, showing how adaptable these amazing predators once were. However, over the centuries, the lion's world has become dramatically smaller. As human populations grew, people began to build cities and farms, clearing the forests and grasslands where lions lived. Lions started to disappear from Europe about 2,000 years ago, and by the 1900s, they were also gone from North Africa and most of the Middle East. Humans and lions began to compete for the same land and the same resources. This long, slow retreat has continued into modern times, and the map of where lions live today looks very different from the map of their past kingdom. Their once great empire has been reduced to just a few isolated pockets. Today, the vast majority of the world's lions, around 95%, are found in Africa, south of the Sahara Desert. They live in countries like Tanzania, Kenya, Botswana, and South Africa, mostly within the protected boundaries of national parks and game reserves. These protected areas are like islands of safety for lions in a sea of human development. Outside these parks, life is much more difficult for them. Even in Africa, their range has shrunk by an enormous amount. Lions now occupy less than 10% of the land they once roamed freely across the continent. Their kingdom is fragmented and broken, making it harder for them to find mates and maintain healthy populations. There is also a second, much smaller population of lions that lives thousands of miles away from their African relatives. These are the Asiatic lions, and they are found in only one place on the entire planet, the Gir Forest National Park in a state called Gujarat in India. These lions are very special. They are slightly smaller than African lions, and the males have a shorter, less dense mane. At one point, there were fewer than 20 of these lions left in the wild, but thanks to incredible conservation work, their numbers have slowly climbed. However, having all of them in one single forest makes them very vulnerable to disease or disaster. The shrinking of the lion's kingdom is a sad story, but it is one that we have the power to change. The roar of the lion, once heard across continents, is growing quieter. In just the last 2 decades, the number of lions in Africa has fallen by nearly half. This is a shocking decline, and it has led scientists to classify lions as a vulnerable species, which means they are at high risk of becoming endangered in the wild. There is not just one single reason for this trouble. Instead, lions face a combination of serious threats, and almost all of them are caused by the activities of people. Understanding these challenges is the first step towards finding solutions and ensuring that these magnificent animals have a future. The biggest threat to lions is the loss of their home or habitat. As the human population in Africa continues to grow, more and more land is needed for farming, for grazing cattle, and for building towns and villages. The wild grasslands and woodlands that lions need to survive are being plowed up or fenced off. This shrinks the lions' territories and breaks them up into small, isolated patches. When their habitat is fragmented like this, it is much harder for lions to find enough food to eat. It also makes it difficult for young male lions to leave their pride and find a new one, which is essential for keeping the lion population healthy and genetically strong. As lions lose their natural habitat, They are forced into closer contact with people and their livestock, which leads to another major problem: human-lion conflict. A lion is an opportunist. If its usual prey like zebra or wildebeest becomes scarce, it may see a farmer's cow or goat as an easy meal. For a poor farmer, losing even one animal can be a disaster for their family. In desperation or anger, farmers sometimes retaliate by shooting or poisoning the lions they believe are responsible. This cycle of conflict is a tragedy for both people and lions, and it is one of the main reasons why lion numbers are falling so rapidly outside of protected national parks. Finally, lions are also victims of poaching, which is the illegal hunting of animals. Some lions are caught and killed accidentally in snares that poachers set for other animals to sell as bushmeat. But more recently, a more sinister threat has emerged. Lions are being targeted specifically for their bones and other body parts, which are then illegally trafficked and sold for use in traditional medicines in some parts of Asia. This illegal trade creates a financial incentive for criminals to kill lions, putting even more pressure on the already struggling populations. These three threats, habitat loss, conflict with humans, and poaching, have created a perfect storm that is pushing the king of beasts towards the brink. Despite the many dangers facing lions, there is still hope. All across Africa and in India, dedicated people are working tirelessly to protect these magnificent animals and secure their future. These conservation heroes include scientists, park rangers, local communities, and international organizations. They know that saving lions is not just about saving a single species. It is about protecting entire ecosystems and finding ways for people and wildlife to live alongside each other peacefully. Their work is challenging, but it is already making a real difference and providing a lifeline for the king of beasts in its time of need. One of the most important strategies is to protect the wild places where lions live. This means supporting national parks and reserves, which are the strongholds for lion populations. Brave rangers patrol these areas every day, working to stop poachers and remove deadly snares. Conservation groups also work with governments to create wildlife corridors, which are safe passages of land that connect different protected areas. These corridors allow lions to move between different parks, which helps them to find new mates and maintain genetic diversity. By securing their habitat, we give lions the space they need to hunt, breed, and thrive. Finding ways to reduce conflict between lions and people is another crucial part of the puzzle. Many organizations are now working directly with local communities that live next to lion habitats. They help farmers to build stronger, predator-proof enclosures or bomas to protect their cattle at night. Some projects also use innovative ideas like flashing lights or warning systems to scare lions away from villages. When local people see that living with lions can be safe and even bring benefits, such as income from tourism, they are much more likely to become partners in conservation. Empowering local communities to protect their wildlife is one of the most powerful tools we have. In India, the story of the Asiatic lion is a brilliant example of what can be achieved. From a tiny population of fewer than 20 individuals a century ago, their numbers have now grown to over 600. This incredible success is the result of strict protection of the Gir forest, dedicated anti-poaching efforts, and the support of the local people. The success in India gives us a blueprint and a reason to be hopeful for the lions in Africa. The road ahead is long, and it requires a global effort. By supporting conservation organizations, visiting national parks responsibly, and spreading awareness, every one of us can play a part in giving the lion a helping hand. For as long as humans have been telling stories, the lion has been a star. Long before we wrote things down, our ancestors painted images of lions on the walls of caves. Some of these paintings, found in places like the Chauvet Cave in France, are over 30,000 years old. These ancient artists depicted lions with incredible skill, showing them as powerful hunters worthy of deep respect and awe. This shows that even in prehistoric times, people were fascinated by the lion's strength and majesty. The lion was not just another animal. It was a powerful symbol that captured the human imagination from the very beginning of our shared history. This admiration for lions continued as great civilizations rose and fell. In ancient Egypt, the lion was associated with royalty and the fierce sun god, Ra. The Great Sphinx of Giza, a giant statue with the body of a lion and the head of a pharaoh, has guarded the pyramids for over 4,500 years. In ancient Greece and Rome, lions were symbols of courage and were often featured in stories of heroes like Heracles, who had to fight the Nemean lion. Kings and emperors across Europe and Asia used the lion on their flags, shields, and coats of arms to represent their power and nobility. The lion-hearted became a phrase used to describe the bravest of warriors. The lion's presence in our culture is still incredibly strong today. Think about how many stories and films feature a lion as a central character. From Aslan, the noble king in the Chronicles of Narnia, to Simba in Disney's The Lion King, these characters teach us about courage, responsibility, and the importance of family. We see lions as logos for sports teams, companies, and even countries, like the 3 lions on the crest of the England football team. The lion represents qualities that we admire and aspire to: leadership, strength, dignity, and courage. It has become a universal symbol recognized and respected all over the world. This deep cultural connection is one of the most powerful reasons why we must protect lions. They are more than just a species of big cat. They are a part of our own story, a piece of our global heritage. The thought of a world without wild lions, a world where their roar can no longer be heard across the savannah, is a sad one. It would mean losing not just a magnificent animal, but also a powerful symbol that has inspired humanity for tens of thousands of years. Saving the lion is about preserving a vital part of the natural world, but it is also about protecting a creature that is woven into the very fabric of our own culture and identity. We have journeyed through the lion's world, from its ancient past to its challenging present. We have seen its incredible strength, its complex family life, and the deep respect it has commanded from people throughout history. But we have also seen the shadows that are falling over its kingdom, the loss of its home, the conflicts with a growing human population, and the threat of poaching have pushed this iconic animal into a precarious position. The future of the lion is not guaranteed. It rests in a delicate balance, and the side on which the scales will tip depends entirely on the actions we choose to take today. The reality is that we are living at a critical time for lions. The decisions we make in the next few years will determine whether their populations continue to decline or if we can help them to recover. It can feel like a huge challenge, but we must not lose hope. We know what the problems are, and we have dedicated people working on solutions. The success with the Asiatic lion in India proves that conservation can work when it is given the proper support and commitment. We have the knowledge and the tools to save the lions of Africa as well, but it requires a collective effort from all of us. The future of the lion is inseparable from the future of the people who live alongside it. Lasting conservation cannot be achieved by building fences alone. It must involve supporting local communities, ensuring they benefit from protecting wildlife and have the resources to coexist with it peacefully. When a farmer's livelihood is secure, they are less likely to see the lion as an enemy. When a community sees value in tourism that is drawn by healthy wildlife populations, they become the lion's greatest protectors. This approach, where the well-being of people and wildlife are linked, is the most promising path to a future where both can flourish. So what is our promise to the lions? It must be a promise of respect, a promise of space, and a promise of protection. It is a promise to support the rangers on the front lines, to help the communities living on the edge of the wild, and to make our voices heard for those who have no voice. The roar of the lion is one of the most magnificent sounds in nature. It is a symbol of all that is wild, free, and untamed. We must work together to ensure that this roar is never silenced, that it continues to echo across the savannas for generations to come. The future of the king is in our hands.